there, and welcome to the stream. Yes, I know I am 20 minutes late, but if I double check, let me just double check the schedule real quick. So, welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. Even if we're not scheduled, if we're not officially scheduled, it's still. There's a whole. I'm eating cheese because I'm hungry, and we are there. My grand plan is to something. Okay, all right. Go to the room, and someone is. Oh. Okay. Cool beans. Let me just check the schedule, which I actually put up. Yeah, we're doing a world building stream. We are live now. Yes, I'm where. All right. We're going to go to a few other. If you guys will be patient with me, I was thinking we could go Haven today. I do love Thirsty. I want to do Haven. If that's okay with you guys. So we're gonna open up the Haven world building. And we have. So we got two. We got a possible planet with and or place with 2 species. So far, we need 7 systems, dozens of species. I got some plans for that, but first what we're going to do, just checking, make sure no one's trying to say anything in the chat. Wow. If beautiful. Well, oh, hang on. There we go. That's that one. Let me do one other, if you're cool with it. Let me. What we're gonna go do? Memes and no, we're gonna go to. So, for those of you who are not aware, Haven is a system, a star empire. I guess it's a collective of space, of stars, which includes 7 star systems, hundreds of cultures, and dozens of species. That's all we know about it. And it's chill about diversity and awesome. Only 1K in Elhawk. I misspelled my name with 2 Ks. That would have been weird. So, you know, there's that. Um, let's see, neurovirus. What else? Oh yeah. So, what are we doing? One more, and then I'm going to start with the. Yes, it is Canada. It is Canadian. Happy Canadian Day. So. Canada is a fun little country, big country, in terms of size. 14, I think it's 14 times the size of France, according to the Arrogant Worms song. So, you know, there's that. So, and if you guys don't want to do Haven, also because it's Friday, I will happily, oh, I put a backslash between nope, that one's, that, I did the other one, a slash instead of a dot between www and, Twitch, which is not how you do. Okay, so, now that we're back, tomorrow, I'll have you know, we're doing, a very specific, Warhammer Fantasy, thingamabob, but for today we're just vibing. I'm also eating cheese because cheese is important. And we are going to go to here, and let me pull up, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, this one, boom, alright, so I got this going. Shenanigans. Okay, so we're gonna go to Starcross Galaxy. Okay, here we go. And then we're gonna go here and go. Alright. In a far-off galaxy, sword lesbians of the Haven, that's what we're working on right now, rocket through the stars to make contact with new societies, to render aid where it is welcome, and to oppose the conquering legion of the Void Empress. Oppose the Empire and seek out community on a galactic scale. Ooh. Starcross Galaxy is a space opera that reimagines pulp sci-fi to celebrate gay love and power. I like this vibe. So, we're gonna do it, except, make space weird and magical. We're gonna actually do world building, though. Because, up into your space whale with your chosen family, investigate a magical vortex to another realm. Cross swords with Legion on galactic livestream when they read your underground talk show. Fall in love with a gay spaceship. One motif of Starcross is putting familiar situation into completely alien context, and exploring how that context inspires you and imagine new possibilities. Space is vast and full of possibility. Connect with your community or pine longingly across the parsecs. Meet people who live in a way you never imagined and wonder why you do the things the way you do. If it's habit or intention, it structures your life. Thirsty Sword Lesbians shines when used to tell stories centered on people. People you can talk to, flirt with, try to understand, and duel. One side of this is being generous with information. There are no mechanics for how well you can scan a space anomaly or understand the physics and magic behind it. GM should just tell you something interesting or actionable information about it. The other side is to get people involved. Maybe the space anomaly heralds a confused time traveler who's been to so many continuities they can't keep them straight. Or maybe a scientist deeply invested in getting credit for the discovery, or the Legion wants to harness it against a nearby world. We shall see. Could be anything. Or you could do what Zolt did when they GM'd us for our brief stint. They GM'd briefly for the Rogue Trader and just have frickin' shenanigans. They have basically this epic science, like epically scienced stuff. There was so much epic science and like random chemistry stuff because they are actually a chem major and just kind of info dumped it and it was awesome. Oh, by the way, my name is Lee. She vibes? I don't know. I'm gonna take this out. I know it sounds silly, but it is a gender thing, and I think she is vibes today. Here they is fine. I'm pretty chill. Just remember, I'm not actually a woman. As such, pretty chill. Though. Welcome to our little cabal. There you go. The Haven Cooperative is a union of 7 star systems with dozens of species and hundreds of cultures. They're united by a shared commitment to cooperation and mutual learning. The Haven can serve as the PC's home community, or you can define a smaller community within the Haven, especially if you're interested in exploring conflict within this utopian realm. The antithesis to the Haven is the Void Legion, an authoritarian and exploitative power that desires domination over the galaxy. The Empress is popular in the Imperial Corps and chooses the might of her legion and the sophistication of her propagandists to expand and consolidate her power. Independent star systems dot the galaxy, bound together through a patchwork of fast and light travel techniques. The Wormhole network connects far from systems on opposite sides of the galaxy, while networks of ether streams provide more local travel. In between the stars known to Haven are vast swaths of the galaxy that can't be reached yet. Some ancient lightspeed signals have emerged from nearby unreachable stars, but any conversation would take thousands of years. But wormholes can be fickle, and ether streams are countless. Explorers who brave uncharted routes can find awe-inspiring wonders of nature and meet new civilizations. And explorers from elsewhere arrive from time to time. If they're lucky, they don't arrive in the Void Empress's territory. Agents of the Gay Agenda. PCs are agents from across Haven who operate in Void Legion space on independent worlds, supporting local factions, working toward liberation, and try to thwart the Void Legion schemes. So, this is what we've got going on. So, a reason, so the setting, they don't define Haven very well. Probably leave the GM room to wiggle. And I want to wiggle. So, we're going to do this. So, they say 7 systems, which I've labeled out. And they say, dozens of, species, which means, like, an average of 3 each at the very minimum. Now, if you got something total or Earth that has a high number of concentration of species, maybe that could sway the whole thing, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so otherwise, adventure ideas. All right, now the characters. So these are NPCs you can use for. Oh, right, and I'm sorry I didn't do the thing. I will do the thing. And if that helps you guys, so so here we go. So we have Karikcha, who is a mantid, with the empathic giants of Rond. So I don't know where Rond is. He is an influential figure of the Hive movement, whose vision for Haven is hive mind, model and use social behavior of space bees. There's a taste for sweets and is always looking for excuse to bake and shares her treats, but the sword in her belt isn't just for show. Dryad Lover gives her a gift. One of the Dryad's many arms, which provide the wood for the sword frame. It's a red laser, the color of her leaves. Okay, so So Rond, I don't know if Rond is a planet. Hi, hello, welcome. I even have a little thingy for you. Hello. Cheers. Welcome to our little stream. We're, so we have, there's Haven, and I'm trying to come up with, like, really good Haven, and wow, we have a lot of people, apparently, even though no one's active in chat, so that's great. Welcome, welcome. Always great to have you around, even if you can't be active. But yeah, we're trying to figure out what the deal with, Rond is. Hello! Hungry... Actually, you know, that, I'm working on it, alright? I'm working on, Sig said, he's waiting for the new book, Hungry Pizza Pansexuals, and I actually have a thing that I promised I would write, and I am working on it, slowly and surely, and, I need to clarify a few details, but, yeah, I am working on that, I promise, which is not Hungry Pizza Pansexuals, it is a story about a pizza, writer, but no, the, so the Dryads of Rond, there's Mantid, so we have the Mantids, so we know Mantids are a thing, what do we do? Oh yes, we can do this, so we know Mantids are a thing, right, and, I should put Mantids, because I think that's how it goes, and then Dryads, we know Dryads are a thing, so Dryads come from Rond. I don't know if that's the name of a planet or part of the planet. So we got that. And a planet that has Dryads probably, and Mantids probably has some other, at least one other mammalian species, right? So, I would say Rond, Rond, I'm gonna say Rond is the planet. So Rond is the planet. Is Rond the planet? Okay, here's the question. Is Rond the planet, or is Rond a subsection of the planet where everything comes from? That I am leaving up to you as my friends and fellow stream buddies. Actually, we could just roll it. We could do evens odds. We can roll. I do tend to do a lot of very random rolls for those of you who are new to the streams. Boom. Okay, so we got evens odds. Evens, Rond is the planet. Odds, it's not, but we'll have to figure out what it's the continent or some other sub part of the planet, or an island maybe, or very like Australia where it's kind of like halfway between island and continent. It is evens, so it is the planet. Okay. So it is a planet. So a planet. So Rond is a planet. Native species include. So we got 2 so far. Mantids and Mantids and Dryads, and we need 1 more native species at least. And then we have to no. Also, planet is not spelled right. Hang on. That's a thing that has to be done. But what was I gonna do? Okay, good to know. And let's see. So it's got Mantids, which are... My beavers are being super annoying today. I feel like that's a metaphor, for something, and, it is Canada Day. Did you know that? Okay. How about, since you said that, we're gonna do the thing. Literal. So, beavers that live in the... Well, you're in Florida. How many beavers can you have in Florida? I thought that was alligators. I thought you had alligators in Florida. We have beavers in frickin' Needham. Hang on. Let's see. Castor. Okay, Castor is the Castoridae are the, so we're gonna go with Castoridae. They are rodents, Rodentia, phylum of Chordata and animal. Wait. The class, kingdom, phylum, class. Okay, why are they out of order? Okay, so I'm going to show you something real quick. This is something all right. Look at this. Okay, I know it's not important. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, but look, I did some research on beavers because reasons. But look at this. So it says family, class, genus, family, class, genus, order, phylum, kingdom, right? It is not in the right order. It goes kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. This is all mixed. It's not in down order or up order. It's in a weird freaking mishmash order, and it's very annoying. Thank you for listening to my rant. However, we're taking Castor because you know what I said? Castoids. You know what? Castoids. And the castoids are beaver people. What's the technical term? Blah 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 blah. Genus. Yep. Oh, in 1758 they were in a Linnaeus. They put them in a different genus. In 1778 they were in a different genus. Okay, good to know. But. So we have 3 from that planet so far. Dryads. Okay, so here's the question then. We have 3 species so far and a planet, which we're getting there. 3 times 7 is 21. Dozens. You know, we're getting there. So Rhoda is a planet. Does it have any moons? This is the question. Okay. While you guys think of whether or not this has moons, let's see. We're gonna bring this up and see what's the next one. Strongtopus Bloodsea. I think we want. I want to bring in Bloodsea. So okay, let me show you something cool. So yeah. Tendicula. A former champion of the Legion, a muscular octopus woman with blue skin and ruby vampiric tentacles in her hair. So the Legion arrived at her homeworld. They came as friends, and their shared technology protected them against a terrible threat from the depths of space. Candace's family made a pact with the Legion. When someone on her world rebelled, she fought as a Legion general. Now she sees that she bought into the lie, and their family she trusted had sold out their world, and the people she hurt were right all along. She's too ashamed to return home, but helps the people of Haven and independent systems resist the Legion with her knowledge and Legion Tech sword. Okay. I gotta kind of plan with that, because I want to, because if Haven, here's the thing. If Haven has, if different species are refugeeing, then clearly, okay, this dragon. Okay, so there are dragons. Tarxie is a dragon, and then an actual vampire, and I think Captain Bycross is human, and or she's not really. That's actually subversive or sympathetic. This guy was just butthurt. She wouldn't date him, and I feel like that's probably it. Okay, I get the vibe that he was just butthurt about it. Like that's a very clear vibe is that she is not into guys, and they're annoyed that she's not dating them, and that the rumors that she's sympathetic are probably just BS created by someone she slighted because he's annoyed with her. I feel like the White Legion is a place where an asshole like that would do something like that. So, you know, I wouldn't read too much into that as actually being sympathetic. Okay, Tarxie is a dragon, and the dragons are clearly independent. But I got a plan for something, but I need to give you 1 minute. Boom, I'm back. Okay. Excellent. So I think there's probably from Castor genus. Just to make a note, is that how you spell genus? Now, Nus with a U. Okay. Okay. So the Castoids. So we got that, and then so we got one planet. That's a start, right? And then we need other planets. So let me see what else we got. You know what? The next planet is called Pepperdine. I'm deciding that arbitrarily. A lot of this is just going to be going to have to be arbitrary because there's not much else other than so the Divine Radiance, that we know is a belief system that spread throughout the. So the Crystal People have a belief system that spread. So we know that's a thing. So let's see. Her Divine Radiance, Ella Varadine of Crystalia. She, her, but the gender is Opal. Okay. Religious figure and talk shows from the holy world of Crystalia. Said to be the birthplace of the sheltering dark and the nurturing light. The reverence for these extremes is the foundation of common faith on many worlds. Okay, so there's a common faith on many worlds called the sheltering darkness and the nurturing light. Dichotomy, okay, pretty basic. Denounced her own world government for the silence and began publishing evidence of Legion atrocities. Evidence has been sent to Crystalia by those begging for aid and support in surviving the Legion's expanses. She has no sword, only the crystalline regalia of her station, chosen by the Radiance. Okay, so the next planet is called Pepperdine because I said so. By the way, if you guys have a I think we should put humans, or at least here's the question then. If we very clearly from the art. Let me show you the art. At least one of the planets, possibly on Haven, has, if not humans, then something very similar. So, what I want to know, I'll show you some of the art. No, she's a vampire, a literal vampire, but, I don't know what. There, she's, if not human, then it's very least something similar to, right? And I think she's probably pretty close, and also probably pretty close. Is that the same? I mean, her hair's different, but no, not quite. Might be sister though. No, but yeah. So we clearly have humans of some class or another, right? And if we have humans, then one of the planets is got to be either the human homeworld. I mean, not an impossibility. Honestly, that's not an impossibility. Okay. You say it jokingly that they're all humans but possess the extra thick gene, but okay. Hang on. Let me do the thing. So Pepperdine, actually though, you know what? Sorry. Food. Okay. Okay, Pepperdine. No, we're gonna leave that now, and we're gonna skip that for now. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna go with New Terra. New Terra. Or Nova Terra. How about that? Sounds fancier. Nova Terra. We're gonna put, contains humans. A planet that contains humans. humans. That's an interesting question, though. Sorry. Are there subspecies of humans in the far future? And if so, do they count as separate species, or are they their own thing? I mean, sorry, those two are. I mean, do they count as separate species, or are they just humans? Well, that's an. Well, that is a separate thing altogether. If they evolved from, if other Earth species, now we're getting into the meat of it, because if other Earth species, such as cats, had evolved beyond or sentience, then they'd be fundamentally different, right? Whereas, if humans had evolved, if human evolution had split, they might be more like human subspecies, and at what point do you become a subspecies rather than just a race in the human sense of it, right? Like, it's generally understood that by modern science that, say, black people are not a separate subspecies or anything. They're just a variant. So at what point does variant stop being variant and start being subspecies? That's the question. Unless, because subspecies can still interbreed. So, but something like, for example, Canis lupus familiaris and Canis lupus are distinct species, with distinct, whatever. How do I explain this? But, for example, two breeds of dog are the same species, even though they might be vastly different. And of course, when you start with humans, it gets complicated by another layer of how do you talk about this kind of thing in a way that doesn't alienate and ostracize actual people who, are living it. Like, how do the way you talk about them becomes politically charged, in a way that you don't with dogs or wolves. You know what I mean? There contains humans. Let's just start with humans, and then I'm gonna start with humans. Novaterra just has humans for now. Unless you think we should have something like cats where hyper-evolved canids. Or felinate nines, depending on because that if they had enough different genetic stock, there'd be no doubt or complication. If they were genetically spliced and diced. And do the genetic splice and dice count as one big species, no matter who they get spliced with, or are they just each one a separate species altogether that has a history in their own cultural, not even cultural history, but genetics, the genetics of it would obviously be slightly different. On top of that, here's a thought. a moon, 3 moons of their 3 moons. Okay, so 3 moons. So we're gonna, Pepperdine has a thing, so we're gonna work with that. 3 moons in their system. Okay. 3 moons in their system are, have been given over to refugees. Refugee populations. Fleeing Void Emperors. Fleeing the Void Empire. That puts it at 4. And then we can do, and then 1. Not ideal, but it's something we can handle, you know what I mean? Sorry. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so they got 3, including, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bust in a little bit of lore. I think is that Tentacula? Or is this Tentacula? Okay, okay, yeah, okay. So, here we got this. Agents of the, okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, Tentacula, Strongtopus, Bloodsea. And the Bloodsea whole family, thing where, sorry. Alright, I'll stop eating. It's just very tasty and it's tempting. Okay, we're gonna stop eating. But Strongtopus, what's her, I'll show you guys. What's her? Okay, Octopus Woman. Yes, Legion arrived in her world, Penta. Octopus people. Octopus. Wait a second. Since octopod, means 8, right? Now, Tentacula, blue skin, so she hypothetically has 4 limbs. Does that mean, oh, well, 2 arms and 2 legs. Does that mean she's got 2 other sets of arms to make 8? Or, do they have the hair count? Do you have, like, 8 hair tendrils? Is that why the octa comes from? That's interesting. Octopus people. A lot. Tentacula. Oh, the Tentacula have 8 tentacles. 8 head tentacles. Alright. 8 head tentacles. Alright, so we got that going. So we've got some stuff. So what we've got now is we got 3, we got Pepperdine. Contains humans and the 5. the 5 races. The 5 variants. Variants. The 5 variants were so that makes 6. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We're getting there. Because dozens, you really want to have at least 24. Probably closer to 36 would be. The upper limit on dozens would probably be over 100. Because then it would be 100. You know, then you would go to hundreds. But somewhere between 20 and 100, I would say, is how we're aiming for. So we got 10 so far. Which brings on to 14. 3, 4, 5. Actually 11. And that's not even counting whoever we got on the other moon. So, okay. We're in a good place. Alright. So, we're working on it. Oh yes, the 5 variants are 5 genetically engineered subspecies genetically engineered species which tweaked the 5 Earth species to give them sentience and opposable thumbs. And opposable thumbs. Bears, raccoons, cats, dogs. Yeah. Okay. The 5 Earth species were lynxes, Canis lupus. What did you name the beaver town? Sig said he has a name of a beaver town. What did you name it? Canis lupus. Lynxes, lupines. Beverly Hills, because that's where I want to be. Okay. Beverly Hills or Beverly Hills? Beverly Hills. Okay. Lynxes, lupines, raccoons, bears, grizzly bears. No, grizzly bears. Grizzly bears. I don't know if I spelled grizzly right. I'm going to check. I'm going to... Grizz. Grizzly. Gri. Oh. Yes. Okay. So there's no extra I here. Grizzly bears. And so I could do elephants. Would elephants be weird, or could we do something else? Because we could do elephants. Or we could do we could do elephants. Grizzly bears, raccoons, lupines, lynxes, and you know what? And macaws specifically, because they're So we have 5 species. The 5 variants. If we want to do more variants, we could. We just have to go back and change it. The 5 variants, and they get capitalized because they are the 5 variants. They're not interfertile exactly. They're interfertile in the same way that horses and donkeys are. So you get weird hybrids who can't have babies usually. But you know. Yeah, they have the different species, and okay, so we have the 5 variants, and then Novaterra. Okay, so we got Pepperdine, the planet. Dinots. Home to the Dinots. What are Dinots like? Green-skinned, green-skinned, humanoid, green-skinned, four-armed, race who can photosynthesize. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so all right, so we got these guys going. So we got the genetic engineered. We got 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we got Rond is the planet. So species count is, hang on, we gotta up the species count. We're getting there. So we got 1, 2, 3. Dinots is 4. Octopi, that's 5. Humans is 6. Plus 10, 11. So All right. um. Um. Let's see who else we got. The Bendiles. We have three eyes, and can see heat signatures. So that's pretty cool. That makes 12. Hi! Minecraft friend, hello, welcome. You're not a first-time chatter, so you've been here before. Hello. I don't see you often, though. Welcome, my name is Lee. She, her-ish vibes, here, they, though, is okay, and you definitely just remember I'm not a woman. We are, building, Haven. So, let me show you some. Boom, 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 boom. And we're probably not gonna get much. Oh! Okay, cool. That makes sense. Very fun. Okay. Cool. That's alright. No, you're absolutely welcome to change your name all the time. I am not... No big deal. Still always welcome. But a setting guide. Yes. Starcross Galaxy. So, the Haven Cooperative is a union of seven star systems with dozens of species and hundreds of cultures. They're united by a shared commitment to cooperation and mutual learning. The Haven can serve as the PC's home community, or you can define a smaller community within the Haven, especially if you're interested in exploring conflict within this utopian realm. The antithesis of Haven is the Void Legion, an authoritarian and exploitative power that desires domination over the galaxy. The Empress is popular in the Imperial Core, and she uses her might of her legion and the sophistication of her propagandist to expand and consolidate her power. So, No. Novaterra isn't Novaterra. Hang on. Because, I know, it's from, the Thirsty Sword Lesbians, the Thirsty Sword Lesbians book that we are working on, and, yeah, it's the Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and, so we are, we're using some of their world building, and we're actually trying to flesh it out a little bit, because, so it just says 7 worlds, right? 7 systems, and, it says dozens of species, right? That's what it says, dozens of species and hundreds of cultures. Now, hundreds of cultures makes sense, because if you look at Earth, for example, well, we have over 100 countries, and that's, we're thirsty with swords because we're lesbians. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, they just, yeah, that's just, they never specified. So 100 cultures, sure, you can buy, because, every even within humanity, you got, if you want to actually count culture, well, we got 180 odd countries at least, and then there's a lot of those within that has very distinctive cultures that don't. Yeah, 7 worlds isn't that much. I actually create planets for fun, for other DMing times. I have, if you want to see this, check this out real quick. We're going to take a break from Haven. We're going to hit save because you always, always, always save your work. And then we go to, what? Expectus Primus. Here we go. But we have relevant planets. Well, okay, so we have this one. Hamish, Visaria, Bertland, Meriteth, Envilum. Yeah, that was the whole thing. Zanzaros, we have more notes on that somewhere else. Gothraxis, Volthea, Kostov, and then Kolthamen, and then we actually, and then Pnomter and Bezus and Bernadette, which we have more notes on as well, and Balboa. That's what we have for, but that's for Warhammer 40k. That's a different system and a different setup. But you know, we do create planets. That's kind of what we do. But and the problem with Seven Worlds, which of Haven, which I think is very cool. Here we'll hit save just in case, and then we'll go back to Haven. Is that I do not have a Lich Cat. However, there is a human so Novaterra. Well, I'm not sure we should call it Novaterra, and I'll explain why in a minute. But we have the lynx. We have what were essentially lynxes who were genetically tweaked to be more like humans. So they have the opposable thumbs. They have the flat face. They have snouts, but they have vocal cords, so can speak. They walk upright. So they're basically cat people. At least a variation of cat people, and none of them are liches as far as I know, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be. Yeah. I never thought of that. Yeah, none of them, as far as I know, are liches, although that could change. But why I wanted to say Novaterra was separate is because, what was I going to say? The Void Empire sounds like it's run by well, there's no specificity on the Void Empress and whether she's human or not, but I have a nagging suspicion she is. Like, I have a gut feeling that she's human. And if she's human, that means that there were humans in the galaxy who split. Some of them went to this planet and joined Haven, and some of them split off and became the Void Empire. You miss your Lich Cat. She got killed. Well, how do you kill a Lich Cat? I think I'm missing something on the Lich Cat front. But maybe I'm misunderstanding. Because I'm thinking of that as a cat who is a lich, therefore has become immortal. Because lichdom is immortality, as far as I know, so I wouldn't, did I spell macaw right? That is an important question. So, I did spell macaw right. Very fun. Okay. And beavers, which we did. Okay. So, you know. Sariko? I do not know. Sariko? I do not know who Sariko is, but I can look up who Sariko is. Sorry. I guess we're getting slightly distracted, but Sariko, that's alright. No worries. Who is Sariko? Shadows Die Twice. Oh. It's a video game. I have never played it before, but it looks kind of cool. Interesting. I have never played Sariko, but it looks interesting. For sure. Oh, Sekiro. Sorry, that is Sekiro. I did copy-paste it when I searched, so I did. Yeah. So it is Sekiro. I'm just saying it wrong. But, oh, I see. I see. I gotcha. It's a shame about the poor Lich Cat, though. Well, certainly didn't deserve to die. Alright, hang on. We need one more, Um, um, Terra Fina. Um, yes. The 5 Earth species. Okay, so Terra Nova is not the only planet where humans have settled. It's not the only planet where humans have settled. Sorry, gotta hit that. That's an important point. Sounds cool. Yeah, you are absolutely welcome to chill any old time. Let's see. We need one more species to have settled on one of Pepperdine's moons. Calling ours. A cold water aquatic species that requires... No, not Warhammer. This is not Warhammer. So Thirsty Sword Lesbians, fun fact, is a... the Thirsty Sword Lesbians is... I do a lot of Warhammer and world building for Warhammer, but this one is for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is this epic... I don't know how to explain how it works. It's a really fun game that is designed... let's see. How to explain Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Basically, it's a 2d6 system, and it's basically designed specifically to tell fantasy or science fiction stories with being hella gay, basically. Let's see, how does it go? Thirsty Sword Lesbians battle a tyrannical ruler when her forces marched down from the frosty north. They rocket through the stars to safeguard diplomats, ending generations-old conflict. They sip tea together and share shy glances at the corner cafe until they need to take up their swords to defend their community. Even in conflict, they seek peace with their opponents, and sometimes connect more deeply than anyone expects. Your Thirsty Sword Lesbians may be fantasy heroes or may inhabit a galaxy of laser swords and starships. Anywhere that swords cross and hearts race, Thirsty Sword Lesbians are there. So this is basically specifically a rule set specifically designed for roleplay heavy. Like, the combat is almost non-existent. They vary, which seems kind of silly, but it's 90% roleplay. It's about being gay women and traveling across wherever you go, just vibing. And there's all sorts of cool stuff that they have. And when so they have a and they even specifically say that you cannot be a bigot. You can't you have to respect disabled people, immigrants, lesbian, and other. That is the worst when you want to RP and none of your people are around. Like, basically you have to respect trans identities, you can't be homophobic. It's basically you just have to vibe. And I think that's awesome. So I've been going down doing this thing. The conditions, that's a way of tracking your health. It's intensive. So I've been kind of what was that one? Oh yeah, that's the Violette Dangereux, which is a very fun ones, but they have a bunch of different settings. And so I've been, going through fairly recently on Fridays, because Fridays are my free day to do whatever. I've been doing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, because Thirsty Sword Lesbians is fun. And when I and then there's Draconian Empire. Oh, the Yusa and the Draconian Empire, right? One. And then there's the silly gay wedding one, which is fun. Basically, the prince of Heteronormia gets kidnapped on his wedding day, and it turns out it was his boyfriend, and his sister wants to marry the bride, and they have a whole, it's a very fun little one. But Constellation Festival is on random islands. So basically, then there's the Gal Paladins of the different goddesses, and the Three Houses, which is kind of a fantasy bent one. And one of the ones they have is Starcross Galaxy, which, and then there's Castle Grayskull. And the Vanguard. Actually, I saw someone play around with this, which is... my favorite muffin. Coffee cake muffins. I have to say coffee cake muffins. I do love a good coffee cake muffin. I'm not gonna say, which is, I know, pretty much a cupcake, but blueberry muffins are good. But, and so are, like, raspberry. Corn muffins are pretty decent. But yeah, coffee cake muffins are best muffins. Hands down. Are you in the Discord, by the way? Because if you're not, you really should be, because it's a lot of fun. And I'm looking to get more people in, and we could probably scrounge up some roleplay in the Discord if we wanted. Honestly. Because I always love doing roleplay, and it's a shame when we don't have it. So I'll shoot you a link. You don't have to come on to the Discord, but it would be kind of awesome. Hello. Mulvac. Oh, hi. First of all, hello, Mulvoke. It is off topic a little bit, but I'm very easily distracted, and I do not mind. First, welcome. My name is Lee. She-ish vibes today. Here they is fine. Just remember, I'm not fully a woman. What else? Welcome. In terms of planning your own campaign, yeah, I'm always big on world building, so you can always ask world building questions. I might not be able to the best at articulating answers, but I would say planning your own campaign. Start with the setting. First you got to decide whether or not you want to base your setting on anything. Like, first start with a vibe. Like, do you want to do, if you're playing 5th edition D&D, do you want to have it be similar to the Forgotten Realms, just like you're with your own spin on it? Do you want to completely start from scratch and just go from there? You can pick. There's no shame as a DM to just borrow a setting and then tweak it. Yeah, there's no... Oh yeah, it's 3 p.m. here, which is on the east coast of the United States. It's 3 p.m. here, but what was I gonna say? That's very fair. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, first, figure out what your vibe is. Second, figure out what if you want a grandiose threat that's kind of just building, and what it is. And then what are your players going to be asked to solve? And if it could start as easy as, hey, my blacksmith daughter got kidnapped. You can start with something like that. Give them something simple to start with that they have to go fix. And if they don't go fix it, then your campaign is already off the rails, and you can just throw whatever at them, because that's how that works. Because sometimes players just ignore plot and just go wherever. But yeah, but that's a good start. You might want to give the PCs, if not an NPC companion for their party, then a NPC in wherever they're starting that's knowledgeable, who will hire them, who will tell them about the setting, who likes to info dump. Just someone they can go to if they get confused. Like an authority figure, or and make sure, I will say this, make sure you tell your players what your setting is. Like, do you have guns in your setting? Are you going to allow that? If not, be very clear that this is not something you'll allow. Are you going to put any restrictions on race or class? Like, if you say, well, Lexodons don't exist in my world. That's perfectly fine, but you have to tell your players ahead of time before they make a Lexodon character, and then you're struggling to, like, either have to tell them to remake their character or, run the lore. So if you want to have any restrictions or, you know, limit them to anything, you have to tell them ahead of time. It's not it's not a bad thing necessarily, but you kind of want to tell, like, yeah, that's it. You got to tell them what their things. Or you might say you're all humans, because, or you might do what Sadie did and just come up with 15 different alien races and have them all, or what we're doing too, actually, is just come up with a bunch of different alien races and then come up with homebrew stat blocks for all of them. That's what Sadie did. I have not done that yet, but yeah, just come up with homebrew racial stat blocks for everyone. And oh, that reminds me, I have to ask Thomas, a friend of mine, about something important. Yeah, so you can do that. So know that. Know about the tech level. So what options are available in terms of technology, like our, and then you want to say, okay, tech and magic. Is magic regularly available, and how rare is it? And how much access to magical goods and items do your characters have on top of their own magic? And if they have magic, is it, like, illegal? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. So yeah, if you want to start with the D&D vibes, you just got to be clear if you're allowing all of the races in the player's handbook, which is a lot. And yeah, no, that sounds really cool, actually. I don't mind it when people derail my one-shots, honestly. One-shots are annoying to get derailed because there's, that just kind of ends up boring when the players don't do the thing that, you know, you planned. But for a campaign, I don't care what my players do, because plot is going to happen with or without them. That's the key. Also, is instead of plotting out a series of things that will happen in the campaign, because you're not sure what the players will do, figure out, okay, yes, you did. I mean, you did eventually go kill the giant, to be fair, or the large monster. You did eventually go kill them after freaking stealing this poor woman's sock. It was not a sock of holding. Sorry, Sig. We were in a one shot together a long time ago, and this young woman had a gold piece in her sock because she was, you know, it was just, you know, regular old stocking. They were tan colored, with little bows. They were fancy going out stockings, and she had a gold piece as an emergency backup money in her sock. And they put on a performance to rob the patrons of the bar, because of course they did. It was not magical. It had been made using magic in the weave. Like a part of the new machinery that they have. I was going to try to explain the clothing mills, that they actually use magic parts, as opposed to their industrialization utilizes magic in their thing. That's why it gave off a faint magical signature. Not a sock of holding magical signature. Uh-huh. Well, then you just have to throw the astral plane. If you insert a bag of holding into another bag of holding, they end up in the astral plane. It was not... I got pressured by the head of the convention, John, who is Blue Box and is the coolest, and absolutely, to make Sock of Holding an actual magical item, which I still haven't started up. But the sock that Johan stole was not the Sock of Holding. It was a regular old sock that was half of... Yeah, okay, so if the players throw a bag of holding into the other bag of holding, here's the deal. That means that they go to the astral plane, and you can just have them attacked by Githyanki pirates. You snag the stats of Githyanki. They're quite powerful, so they might kill the player characters, but if they derailed the plot anyway, that might be a kind of fun way to do it, to go down, is to have them go down fighting Githyanki pirates and overwhelmed. If they've completely derailed and you have nothing, what you can do is make super powerful Githyanki pirates and go for a TPK. That might be your option. You know, I don't know. Oh, yeah, Githyanki pirates. Oh, so the Astral Sea. A little bit, I guess we're gonna do a little D&D lore, if you guys are cool with that. We'll put aside, I'll hit save, and then we'll put aside Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Yes, the Astral Plane has Githyanki, pirates in it that go around and do stuff like that. Yeah, there are Githyanki pirates in the astral plane. That's a thing. That last time my players did that, they threw a chest of holding into a magnificent mansion, and yeah. So that's what if when they do that, you just have them fight Githyanki pirates, and then I think I looked up stuff on the astral plane and to find them a way to get back, if they want to get back, and made them go and search it out with a couple skill checks. And I think Relin, who was the NPC I had tagging along with them, almost died from the Githyanki pirates, but they had a healer with them, so he was okay. Yeah, but yeah, Githyanki pirates in the astral plane. That's kind of like, if they do something like that and they end up in the astral plane, you just throw Githyanki pirates at them, and they shouldn't have stuck a bag of holding inside a bag of holding. You could also have given them a knowledge check to know if they would end up in the astral plane, like what would happen. If they fail that though and they don't know, they just try it. That is good. Always good to share good ideas. Okay, it is 3 o'clock. I have to get to work at some point soon. Work is... Yeah. There is so much random extra lore of so many things. I mean, I do Greyhawk, which was the first D&D setting ever. I do a lore stream every Monday. I do a deep dive into the lore of Greyhawk, and we live edit the wiki because I'm a nerd like that. But yeah, once you start digging into the lore, there's a lot of stuff you find, and you're like, oh, that's a thing. But yeah, you absolutely don't have to add. You can also adjust the plane system. Like, you can say, no, the astral plane isn't a thing in this setting. You can just declare that the astral plane isn't a thing, or the Feywild isn't a thing, so they can't go to the Feywild. Or you could say, they only have the Hells, not the Abyss. Like, there's only one set of evil, Hi! I haven't actually rolled anything yet. I appreciate the channel points, but, so, rolls, I usually use rerolls, I'll tell you. When we're doing, character creation, as opposed to just world building. If we're doing random character creation and I roll the stats and stuff, that works. You know what? Yeah, that's a very reasonable thing, that it sucks in a monster from some random dimension. It's very plausible reason of putting a bag of holding inside a bag of holding. Yeah, the rerolls are for when we do random character creation, which I do quite often. Usually on Mondays. Tuesdays and Thursdays I usually do random character creation for Warhammer. And sometimes on Fridays, depending on what we're doing. Yeah, so if we're rolling stats and you want me to re-roll one of them, you can gift the 200. But since we haven't rolled anything, I mean, if you want me to roll a dice just to roll it, I'm happy to. I always enjoy random dice rolls. We do some fun stuff with random dice rolls. Castle Grey Skull. We're Haven. We're going to Haven. No, we weren't Magical Force Go. No. Haven was one of the first ones, right? 3 houses. Sorry. I'm getting distracted again. I think if you type... Use of Rebellion. We got campaign settings. Use of Revolution, I should say. The Barons. Oh, that's the Violette Dangereux, who are kind of awesome, and I actually created a character for them, Ainsley. Oh yes, Entice and the Frost, and okay, yeah, the three warders. Oh, this is the Cyberpunk one, 2099, I believe. the Coffee House, Lesbians Coffee House, and Cross Fast Distances. Here we go. This one is the a vibes check. Okay. Bye for the lurk. Bye. Yeah. Okay. A vibes check. I can do a vibes check. Alright, so let's see. I want to show you first. This is my dice tray. I got it from, I think it was Phoenix Dice. Here we go. Let me show you. This is the dice tray, and I have a bunch of dice that I keep in the dice tray. I also have my hoard, and then I have, this is my pretty pastel rainbow ones, and then, or my pretty pastel ones, and then I have this one, which is a bunch of blue sets. And then I have my other ones, and then my good ones, and the bunch of metal. I have a lot of sets, basically. But I have the rainbow set, which is kind of, I don't know if you can see it. This is the pastel rainbow, and it's one of my favorites. So, ready? We're going to roll for vibe check. Vibe check. I used to have a dice cam, but the way my mic's set up right now, I can't. But I'm going to get one as soon as... 16! Hey, 16. Here, I'll show you. 16. So we got pretty good vibes going. And then you put... you always put your dice highest side up. So when you put them down, because that way the good vibes, they're used to being on the highest number, and they give you good vibes. It doesn't always work, but I always do that with my my dice. Of course. Boom, boom. It's a D12. Should go up this way. 5. The D5's always on the 5. So 16 out of 20 for vibes. I think that's pretty good. Alright, it is 3:15. What's I gonna do? I was actually just... For the whole thing, I was doing Haven, which has... Okay. Sorry. Yeah, there's always a point in the stream where I start hitting a wall. And I do have to go to work later. Cold water aquatic species. Aquatic species whose planet was stripped for resources, strip mined. But who are uniquely adapted suited to this particular moon's ice oceans. Alright. So we have 13 so far. This is good. So basically, the planet Haven, or the Haven Collective, it said, what did it say? There was a whole, the Haven Cooperative is a union of 7 star systems with dozens of species and hundreds of cultures. They've united by a shared commitment to cooperation and mutual learning. The Haven can serve as the PC's home community, or you can define a smaller community within the Haven, especially if you're interested in exploring conflict within this utopian realm. So, and then you got the Void Legion, which is their opposite. So, when I read that, I was like, okay, hundreds of cultures over 7 star systems makes sense. I mean, you just want to look at Earth. But if you look at Earth, there's our system. There's one inhabitable planet, and there is one fully sentient species, and then 2 or 3 maybe-ish ones. You know, dozens is a lot for a full, you know, for only 7 star systems. So I wanted to figure out how that was possible, so we've been building as we go, trying to figure out how to create this planet, and then some of them are refugees. They're like moons that have been set up as homes for refugee species of various refugees from the Void Empire's thing, which... So we have 13 species so far over 3 systems, which I think work fairly well. But yeah, I need to crash because I need to have a nap before work, I think. But I really appreciate you all coming to the stream. Here, let me just And I'm gonna hit save. You always save your work because that is important. Oh, you got to go too. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm on at least 5 or 6 streams a week. Tomorrow we're doing Warhammer Fantasy Lore because Sig specially requested it. And of course, if you want to join the Discord, our Discords are it's a fun little side hustle if you want. No pressure. If I can get the thingy to do the thing. Let me bring up the. Actually, I'm an idiot. I think that should work, right? Yeah. I know. I will get to writing. We're gonna raid Brush for Hire if anyone's interested in hanging out for the raid. He does art streams and is just generally a cool vibe. So we're gonna stop that. And I will see you guys all later. Bye.